Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue with the many to many. Yeah, guys, just wait for 2 minutes, okay? Just wait for 2-3 minutes. Let's continue. Right. Right. You'll start now. So initially, I'm just going to keep the code which we discussed yesterday into comments. Okay, let's move on. What I'm doing here, I'm just keeping all the code, whatever that we discussed in the last class. That code, I want to keep it into comments. Now the code went to comment section. Next, we'll move on to the next operation. I mean, we will discuss about the remaining 2 operations now. Okay. So this is my book DAO. where save book is an operation we did already yesterday. Now we want to discuss about find book, and we also want to discuss about another operation called remove book. Let's see. Requirement is when we are finding a book, we know that a book is associated with a list of authors. As per yesterday's discussion, every book has a list of authors. A book has a list of authors. So, okay, so let's identify whether when we are just going to fetch the details of a book, I want to get the book details, but I do not want to get the author's details of that book. I don't want author's details of the book, only just want to get the book details. Then I should use fetch type as lazy. And I said yesterday, when the relationship is too many, the default fetch type will be lazy. Here, even though if I don't write fetch equals to, even though if I don't write fetch is equal to fetch type dot lazy, even though if I don't write fetch is equal to fetch type dot lazy, but still the fetch type is lazy only. So it is optional to write. Fetch type is by default lazy, so it is optional to write. If the relationship is to one relationship, then fetch type is eager by default. But if the relationship is too many, then the fetch type is lazy. Fetch type is lazy. Fetch is an attribute. Fetch type is an enum. It is an enum with two constants. This cascade type is an enum. Enum is one type in Java. A special data type in Java is enum. E-N-U-M, enum. So fetch type dot lazy. So this enum has two constants. One is eager and second one is lazy. By default here it is lazy. So I no need to add fetch equals to fetch type dot lazy, because by default it is fetch type dot lazy only. Next. So let's identify how we can able to find the book. So I would like to call the method book from DB equal to DAO dot find book by passing 10101. So I say book from DB equals to DAO dot find book of 10101. What does this 10101 represent? This is the ID, book ID, right? It is a book ID. So DAO dot find book of 10101, right? Okay, good. So this is my method I'm calling over. Let's see. First, let us run this. How can I able to find that I'm selecting only the book, or whether I'm selecting book along with the authors of book also? So what is the default fetch type in many to many relationship? Lazy. Okay. So when I'm selecting a book from DB, I will not select, or it won't select, better word, it won't select the authors of the book. But how can you identify whether it is selecting the authors or not selecting the authors? Okay, you have to observe it based on query. When this code executes, it will show a query on the console. If that query is a join query, for example, then it's going to select the books and authors of the books. Of course, it's selecting a single book with all authors of the book. If that query is not a join query, then only it is going to select the book details, but not going to select the author details, right? So let's identify this. By observing this query, what you can understand is, if you look at this now, it is only just going to select the data from a single table that is called books table, but not authors. There is no join statement in this query. There is no join. We don't have a join inside it, right? So basically what you understood now, you have understood that only Hibernate is selecting only book, but not its authors. Only selecting the book, but not its authors. Sure. Yes, correct. Let's change. Fetch equals to fetch type dot eager. Right? So by default is what? Fetch type dot lazy. By default fetch type is what? Lazy. But now you are selecting what? Fetch type dot eager. Eager. Fetch type dot eager, right? I'm setting fetch type as eager. Just run the query. Run the code and observe the query. Now see, there is a lot of difference between the previous query and the current query. Right, okay. There is a lot of difference between the previous query and the current query. It is selecting from where and where? From books table. No, from join table called book underscore authors table, and also from authors table. How we will get many to many relationship? With the help of join table. You have table 1. You have table 1, T1 say. You have T1, T1 is a table 1. So T2, that is table 2. And you have a join table. JT. Join table. So how there is a many to many relation between the table 1 and 2? Table 1 to join table is a one to many relationship. Table 2 to join table is again one to many relationship. So with the help of join table, with the help of this join table only, we are providing what kind of relationship between the two tables now? Many to many. So how can I get many to many between two tables here? With the support of a third table, this third table is called join table. Join table. So to select the data between two tables when there is a join table, a join statement executes between table 1 to join table to table 2. This is a table 1, join table. Again, join it with the table 2. Who is my table 1 here? Books. Who is my join table? Books underscore authors. And who is my table 2? Authors. Okay, right. Just I would like to explain this part. Saying that what you can identify the difference between what and what? Fetch type eager and fetch type lazy. Currently, what is the fetch type I have changed it to? Eager. If I change fetch type eager, then when I'm selecting a book from DB, I'm only selecting the book or even authors of the book also. Yes, I am getting the authors of the book also, right? So what I'm saying here, I will like to display sys out. First, I like to print book ID. I know the book ID as 10101, but still I would like to print it. Book from DB dot get book ID. I think you know setter getter methods, right? Setter and getter methods, you know, right? Very good. Nice. Okay. Setter and getter methods, you know, right? Good. Suppose assume that I have a variable Boolean. Variable name is active. What's the variable name? Active. Boolean is a data type. Active is variable, right? So tell me what's the setter method of this variable active? No. If my variable is active, which is a Boolean data type, I'm asking, tell me what is the setter and getter method for this variable active. Set active with a Boolean parameter. Setter method does not contain return type. It's void. It is void. Okay. It is void. What is getter method? Is active, not get active. Because what is a data type here? Boolean. Boolean. Right. Okay. It is Boolean. Data type is Boolean. The getter method of active is active, not get active. Is active. Getter method does not contain parameter. Setter method, getter method, you feel easy because you are generating through IDE. Otherwise, a Lombok annotation, one annotation, at the rate data. Right. Okay. That's the reason why you are unable to know about properly setter getter methods. That's a problem. Right. Getter method does not contain parameter. Setter method has a single parameter. Setter method does not contain more than one parameter. It does not contain 2-3 parameters. Setter method exactly contains one parameter. Setter method return type is void. Getter method return type is type of the variable. Type of the variable. If the variable is Boolean, then return type is Boolean. Boolean, right? Boolean. Yes. Okay. Observe here. I am calling a method called get book ID. Just I know because I am only passing the book ID here. What's the book ID? 10101. I know the book ID, but I would like to print name of the book. I want to print what? Name of the book. Name of the book. Book name. I want to print book name, right? Yes. How can I print the book name? Book from DB dot get book name. What I'm printing here? Name of the book I'm printing. What I'm printing here? Name of the book. After this, now we know that this book has authors. And fetch type is eager. Fetch type eager means, okay, along with the book, all authors of the book also selected, right? So list of authors is equal to authors of book 1 is equal to something, blah, 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 is equal to what I can write? Book from DB dot, what's the method name? Get authors. If you have a variable called authors, then what is its a setter method? Again, you have to improve your knowledge. Listen here. What I am trying to tell you is, okay, suppose I have a variable called what? List of author. List of authors. This is called a generic type, right? List of authors is a generic type, right? Why do we need generics? Why do we need generics? List of author. Why are you using generics? Why don't you use directly list authors? List authors. I can write like this also, no? Then why I need generic type called list of author type? Sorry? We don't satisfy with this type of answers. We don't satisfy. No. Find out it. Okay. Find out it. Why we need generics? Learn that first. Okay. That's important. Now, okay. Anyhow, I will be moving forward. See, observe here. I'm calling one for each method in Java 8. You will come to know about these things. If you know already, that's well and good. Then I say system.out : println. Okay. So I just want to print each and every author of this particular list. by calling the method called what? Foreach. Foreach is a method which is called a default method. Foreach is a default method from Java 8. It is a default method of iterable interface from Java 8. From Java 8. Because from Java 8, interface can have default methods and static methods. Okay. From Java 8 onwards, interface can have default methods and static methods also. Okay. Along with abstract methods, we can also create default methods and static methods in interface from Java 8. From Java 8. Okay, right? Default method of iterable interface from Java 8. What's the method name? Foreach. This colon, whatever, this is called method reference operator, MRO. We call it as MRO. MRO stands for method reference operator. Okay. For today, you feel that it is going to display, instead of writing for loop, like for each loop, or using iterator. So just I'm using authors.foreach. Right? Okay. Good. Let's run this program one more time. Okay, let's run this program one more time. Now I can able to see the details now. I can able to see the details now. But when it is displaying the details, okay, I got the book ID 10101. I got the book name is Learn Java. But when I am displaying the authors of the book now, I am getting something like this. First of all, what is this? What is this one? Why? Why I am getting output like this? In author class, I have not overridden. I have not overridden which method? ToString method. I have not overridden ToString method in author class. Okay. We have not overridden author class ToString method. Then whose ToString method will be called? Object class ToString method called. What object class ToString method returns? A string. ToString method return type is a string now. What is the syntax of that string? Class name @ what is this? 343E25A. What is that? Hash code is an integer, na? How can you say it is an hash code? It is a hash code only, but not in integer format. It is in hexadecimal format. It is a hexadecimal format of hash code. Okay. Why I am getting output like this? Because I have not overridden ToString method in my author class. Then object class ToString method will be called, because what is a base class for all classes in Java? Object. Object is a base class for all classes in Java. Object class ToString method called. That ToString method in object class will return a string in a format. What's the format? Class name. Class name is not class name. Fully qualified class name. Fully qualified class name means you got it, na? Including package name. Package name dot class name is called fully qualified class name, right? When you are working with JDBC, driver class. In our persistence.xml also we are writing driver class. How are you writing the driver class? Com dot not cj dot com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver. Other writing oracle dot jdbc dot driver dot oracle driver. What are you writing there? Fully qualified class name, na? Fully qualified class name means, first of all, remember it. What do you mean by fully qualified class name? Package name dot class name. That is called fully qualified class name. Okay. So means instead of getting the author details, I am getting the hexadecimal hash code of the author object. What I have to do now? I want to go to my author class. I want to go to my author class and I want to override ToString method here. And I don't want to include this collection in that, only author ID and author name I want to include. I want to remove books from this toString method. Okay, now which method I have overridden here? toString method. Now see, when you run this application, you can able to find the result like this. So now finally we got our output. This is book ID and this is the book name. And these are the two authors. This is the author ID, author name, and this is another author ID and author name. These are the two authors involved in writing the first book, right? We have two books yesterday. In that first book is written by A1 and A3. Second book is written by A1, A2 and A3. As per our yesterday's example, I'm talking about it, right? Good. So today, what is the next operation we have to select? We have to test remove book. Okay, let's see how it's going to be removed. Let's move on. So here, which method I called find book? It is done. Let us keep this code in comment, okay? After keeping this code in comment, next let's start the next operation. What is my next operation I want to call? What is the next operation I want to call? Call remove book. Call remove book. Let us see how to call the remove book. Okay, let us see how to call the remove book. Let's see. I want to call the remove book with ID 10101. Got it? When I say remove book 10101, what will happen? What are you expecting at least? For example, I want to show select star from books. Sorry, TBL underscore books. That's my table. Now these are the two books here. Which book I want to remove? 10101 book I want to remove. This book I want to remove, right? Okay, good. Select a star from. Let us have three queries first. What are these? TBL underscore authors. Then I want to remove, I want to select from join table. Who is my join table? What is it? Select star from TBL underscore books underscore authors. TBL underscore books underscore authors. Now this is called join table, right? So I said, where can you identify many to many association or relationship? In the join table. In the join table. So if you want to apply many to many relationship between two tables, then what table is mandatory? Join table is mandatory. Yes, we got it. We got it. Let's call remove method. DAO dot remove book ID 10101, right? I'm passing the book ID as 10101. Let us see. I want to run this code now. Thing is, observe here. Thing is, I written code as what? Remove book with ID 10101. Correct? See, the delete queries, these are all select queries executed by Hibernate internally. These many queries Hibernate executed, but we want to understand delete queries now. Deleting from which table? Not authors table, join table. Again deleting from join table. Means how many records are deleted from join table? 2 records are deleted. 2 records are deleted. This is a delete from which table? Authors table. Delete from authors table. Delete from books table. Delete from authors table. Then delete from books table. These many queries executed. These many queries executed. I will tell you why it's happening like this. It is bidirectional relationship now. What happens when I'm trying to delete a book? The join table records are deleted between the book and author. Author is deleted. If that author is involved in writing another book, then what will happen? That book is deleted.
and the data is deleted from authors table, join table. So if you observe, because it's a bidirectional, if I say select star from books, I have no records. From authors, no records. From join table, no records. Why? It's made my total tables empty. Because I applied what type of relationship? Many to many, what directional? Bidirectional. What is happening here first? Actually, my intention is what? I want to delete a book. I want to delete a book, right? But what Hibernate will do? Will delete the book and authors of the book also. If that author involved in writing another book, then what will happen? That book is also deleted, because operation cascaded from both sides now. Means what? When deleting the book, author is deleted. While deleting author, book is also deleted. Got it? That's the reason why finally I got what? Empty tables. All the records are deleted. You're getting my point, right? Okay. So my requirement is, when I'm deleting the book, I only want to delete the book, but not its authors. But not its authors, because that author may be involved in writing another book also. No? What is happening if that is the case? That author is deleted, but before deleting the author word, that book is also deleted. I mean, understand in the air like that. Finally, all the tables are becoming empty now. So what is the solution here? I mean, there is no relation between fetch type and delete operation. Insert, update, delete related to cascade. Fetch related to select. Select operation belongs to fetch type. Inserting, updating, deleting related to cascade. Remember these two. Okay. I want to delete only the book, not the authors. Then what should I do? Yes. When I am writing my author entity class, in my author class, I have written cascade is equal to cascade type dot what I written? All. Change that cascade type all to cascade type dot merge or persist, like that. All means what? All include remove also, no? You are getting my point? Means what is happening while trying to delete an author, it is trying to delete the books of the author also, no? Yes. That's the reason why. So how can I come out of this problem? I can come out of this problem by changing the cascade type, not fetch type. Cascade type. This is my author. In this author class, what I written? All. Means what is happening while deleting an author, what is happening? All the books are deleted. But my requirement is what? Don't delete all the books while deleting an author. So then what should I do? Change cascade type. Instead of writing cascade type dot all, what you have to write? Cascade type dot say merge or persist. Because all includes what? Remove also. All meaning these many. All meaning detach plus merge, persist, refresh, remove. These 5 values is called all. But which operation I don't want? Remove. If I don't want remove, then what to do? Change a cascade type to merge or change a cascade type to persist. Then it won't affect on removing, right? So how can you solve this problem? How can you able to solve this problem? By changing the cascade type. By changing the cascade type. Done. Now, if you look at my DAO class, book DAO, implementation class name book DAO IMPL. Nothing but I am executing These CRUD operations, what are the CRUD operations I'm executing? I'm inserting the book. I'm saving the book. I am fetching the book. I am removing the book. Even I can update the book. If I'm doing operation on book, it is affecting on the same operation is cascaded on, reflected on authors. But you want to do these CRUD operations on author and you want to reflect on books. Then what you will do? My requirement is, currently my program is working on, my program is executing operations on which object? Book object. It is cascaded, reflected on authors. But I want to do operation on author and I want to reflect it on books. Then create author DAO. What is it? Author DAO. Next, author DAO IMPL and perform operations on author, save author, fetch author, remove author. If you are performing operation author, the operation is propagated to whom? List of books. Currently, what is happening? I am performing operation on book. It is propagated on to the list of authors. It is bidirectional. Bidirectional means what? Application can execute operation on any entity, either book object or author object. If you do operation on book, it affects on authors. If you do operation on author, it affects on books. Because it is what type of relationship? Bidirectional, many to many. So how to make it as a bidirectional? What is an attribute that will play an important role? Mapped by. Mapped by. Mapped by is going to play important role. This is what many to many. Let's talk about one to one. Right. Let's talk about what's the next one. This is the one more last relationship we have. Totally, JP relationships are 4 categories. Out of 4 categories, what are the 3 we completed? One to many, many to one, many to many is done. For the last one, one to one. Let's see how we can create one to one. We'll complete that one also now. Let's see. So now, observe here. See, I have tables like this now. I have tables. This is my, okay, this is my table called, TBL underscore person. And it has columns like this, okay? The columns are person ID, or otherwise Aadhaar number, something like. Person ID is nothing but Aadhaar number only nowadays. Person name. I don't want to take other details. Person ID, person name is enough. Gender, email ID, age, these are all I don't want to take now. I have a table called what? TBL underscore person. Now I have a table called passport. TBL underscore passport. I have a table called TBL underscore passport. Okay. And here I have columns like passport number. Only 2 columns are enough for me. And I just want to write 2 properties. 2 columns are there in my table. One is passport number. And second one is expiry date, EXP date. Expiry date of the passport. So look at the 2 tables now. Okay. Two tables there are. There are two tables now. What are the two tables now? Person and passport. Person and passport. Okay. Now, this person table also contains foreign key. It also contains what key then? Foreign key. Let me tell you. First of all, who is the primary key in the person table? Obviously, person ID. In the passport table, passport number. So first let us identify this is what primary key. And this is another primary key in the second table. In the second table, this is the primary key. In the first table, that is the primary key. Now I want to create one more column here in my table. I want to create one more column in this table. That is called passport number. Okay, what is that? Passport number. I'm taking it, passport number. Passport underscore NO. Now this is called what key? Foreign key. This is foreign key. Now, what type of relationship we want to associate or we want to map between the person and passport? 1-to-1 means what? One person has one passport. A person has a passport. Person has a passport. That's what relationship we want to provide. Tell me now, who is the source object for operations and who is going to be the target object? Yeah. Who is the source and who is a target? Person is the source for operations. When I'm inserting the person details in database, what I want to do? I want to insert the person details along with passport details. You are getting my point? When I'm deleting a person from DB, then along with person details, I also want to delete his passport details. When I'm selecting person details, I want to select what? Passport details. So who is the source of the operations? Person. And who is the target of the operations? Passport. Okay. Question. I'm talking generally. Not in this example, but generally. Generally, if you create a foreign key column allows duplicate values or not? Will a foreign key allows a duplicate value or not? Will a foreign key allows a duplicate or not? Tell me when a column does not allow duplicates. Okay, primary key. If the column has a constraint called primary key or unique, right? If a column has a unique constraint or a column has a primary key constraint, then that column does not allow duplicate values. But foreign key column, it allows. Why not? It allows duplicates for sure. But if you observe, assume that I have two records in the person table with the same passport number. Then what does it mean? If in case, assume that, assumption, just think like this. What do you have to think? Assume that there are two records in the person table. Both the persons have the same passport number. Then it becomes what type of relationship? You can say many to one, or inverse, you can say one to many if you want. Got my point? But our intention is what? Of course, basically, it's not possible that two different persons are going to have the same passport. Exactly one person has one passport only, which means what? This foreign key column should not allow or must not allow, simple word, but duplicate value. Able to get my point? Yes. It should not allow null value also. Because if it allows null value, then what? There is no relation between person and passport. How can you find relation between two records in two tables? If you want to identify the relationship between the records in two different tables, what is required? Foreign key is required. Foreign key is required. So tell me here, this is foreign key, but this foreign key must not allow duplicate values, must not allow null values. Then relationship becomes what? One-to-one. Let's have discussion here. First, I want to start creating person entity class. Okay. Entity class is person. Okay. I am writing @entity. Table, observe. Table. What's my table name? TBL_person. Right? Public class person. Here. ID. What's the next annotation? Column. Column name equal to what? person_ID. Private. Integer. Person ID. You got it right? What's the next one? @column. Column name is equal to what? Person name. Person name. Private. String. What is it? Person name. Tell me here. The third column is a foreign key, na? You know, foreign key column is represented with or specified with the join column annotation, right? But you don't require any variable to map with the foreign key. Remember, when there is a table as foreign key, you don't need a variable to map it with the foreign key. So how many variables are required here? 2 variables. One is to map with what? Person ID. Another one is to map with what? Person name. But we don't require any variable to map it with passport number. Why? Because it is what key? Foreign key. Foreign key specified by using join column annotation. But observe here. Tell me, who is my source entity and who is the target entity? Person is the source. Passport is target. How can you say person is source? Because I want to execute the CRUD operations on person. Save person, fetch the person data, remove the person details, update the person data. Means I want to perform operations on what? Person. I want to do operations on what? Person. So who is the source of operations? Person is a source. Who is the target of the operations? Passport. Then tell me, if you want to apply one-to-one relationship, yesterday I told you, if you want to apply one-to-many relationship, for too-many relation, what is required in the source entity class? Collection variable. What is required? Collection variable. But if it is a 2-1 relationship, then what is required? Not collection variable. What is required? A reference variable of target entity class. Tell me, who is the target here? Passport. Private. Passport. Passport. This is the way how you can define as a relationship, right? You know that. You know that. Correct? Tell me now. Who has what? Passport has persona. Person has a passport. In person class, we are creating a reference variable of passport entity class. Passport class. So we can say that what? Person has a passport. Person has a passport. Person has a passport. Got it right? Person has a passport. Are you getting my point? Yes. Observe here. Annotations. Let's start adding annotations. I will add annotations here. So what are all the annotations I need to write? Let me write the annotations. @1-to-1. What is it? 1-to-1. Cascade equal to what operations to be cascaded using one-to-one? All. What's the default fetch type? I'm not writing fetch. If I don't write fetch, what's the default value of fetch attribute? Eager, because it is what type of relation? 2-1. If it is a 2-1 relation, what's the default fetch type? If it is a too many relation, lazy. Next, what's the annotation? Join column. Tell me. Join column means what column? Foreign key column. What's the name of the foreign key column? Passport underscore ID. Right? Passport underscore, okay, passport underscore NO. Or passport ID, whatever. Okay, but one thing, this join column should not allow what? Because you want to provide one-to-one. Na? If you want to get one-to-one relationship, foreign key column should not allow duplicate values. Unique equal to true. What is that? If you write unique equal to true, what does it mean? It does not allow duplicates. And it should not allow null values. Nullable is equal to false. What is it? Nullable is equal to false. So by adding these two, what and what attributes? Unique is equal to true and nullable is equal to false. By adding these two, then tell me this join column means foreign key column. This foreign key column does not allow duplicates and also does not allow. Tell me if it does not allow duplicate values and null values, then it is going to become like, one-to-many relation or many-to-one relation or one-to-one. 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 Right? One-to-one. Correct. This is person class. Next, what the other class I need? Passport. I have to create two variables. Map with the passport number and expiry date. Let's see how to write this. Entity. What next I want? Table. Table name. What is my table name? TBL underscore passport. TBL underscore passport. What is a class? Passport class. Passport class. Okay, passport class. You just try to understand now. What is ID? Passport number. What's the ID? Passport number. Column name is passport underscore NO. Private integer passport ID. Tell me what is variable name and what is a column name? What is a variable name? What is a field or variable? Passport ID. It is mapped to which column? Passport number. Passport NO. Next. Column. Tell me what's the column name next? Expire date. EXP date I'm writing. Or you can take expire date column. Passport will expire on so and so date. Right? Right. Everybody has expire date, right? Right. Everybody has expire date. Not only passport, not only vehicle. Okay. Everybody will have expiry date. Somebody gets it faster, somebody gets it bit later. Right? Right. Okay. Right. Very good. Atma Siddhantam. Karma. That is what called karma. Okay, right? Karma. Right. Okay. Leave about that. Okay. Fine. Of course, Many times we died, many times we born. This is not our first born, this is not our first death. Right? But we don't know that. Right? Good. But in this meantime, you have to learn LKG, UKG, first class, huh? 10th class, B.Tech, M.Tech, Java, huh? Again, marriage, huh? Okay. These are all the lessons that we want to learn. That's the reason why we came onto the earth. Right. But yeah, one thing I want to say, that, for example, in this birth, you are a genius scientist, world famous scientist. But again, from the next birth, you have to start from zero only. Again, you have to start from zero, nursery, PP1. This knowledge does not come to your next birth. Maybe in this birth, you are a excellent genius Java developer, or you are the creator of Java. In the next birth, again, you are zero. We are all zero next. Again, you have to start from PP1, nursery. Right. Let's move on. Observe here. I have to tell you. Here I took local date. Local date is a class from Java 8. Okay, even I can take date or calendar class also, but nowadays we are not using date calendar classes. Simply we are using local date time. We are using our local time classes. That's from Java 8. So we have person class and we have passport class. Person and passport, right? That's good. Let's start. We want to create the two classes like this now. What kind of relationship we want to apply? One-to-one, @1-to-1 and @join column. What are the two attributes that will tell that this join column should not allow the duplicate values and should not allow the null values? Unique equals to true, then nullable equals to false. It is called what type of relationship? One-to-one. And who is the source of the operations? Person. And who is the target of the operations? Passport. Let's write. Let's see. Are we getting one-to-one relationship or not? Let's create. Just wait, we'll create now. Okay. It is JPA one-to-one. JPA one-to-one. I would like to say OTO dot entities. Listen here. Okay, look at this. One-to-one. First, let's open the pom.xml and add all the dependencies, whatever we want. Let's add all the dependencies. Sure. Let's go ahead and change to Java 11. Okay. Even I need resources folder. SRC main. Under main, we want resources folder. Create a new folder called resources. And then we can able to update the project once. Maven update project. Okay. Now, let's move on. I need a persistence.xml file. Let's copy this meta in a folder. Copy this meta in a folder into resources. Paste it. Open the persistence.xml and change the entities. OTO. Package name OTO. 1-to-1. And what are my entity classes? Person and passport. I am creating 2 entity classes with the names person and passport. Okay. 2 classes. These are the changes required here. In entity classes, you need to make changes like this. Right. Observe here. Okay. Let's move on. Let's create first 2 classes here. Or the 2 classes I want to create now. One class name is a person. And the other class name I want to create is a passport. Now let's start adding the details to person. Look at this. Person. Entity. Table. TBL underscore person. It's my table. Okay. Next. In person, we have an ID. Private, integer, person ID. I'll take ID only, person ID. And column name also person ID only. Leave it. Private, string, person name. Next. Private, passport. It is called what type of relationship? 1-to-1. So what's the annotation to, what is the annotation to specify that it is 1-to-1 field? @ 1-to-1. This annotation to map 1-to-1 relation. Cascade. Cascade equal to what I'm writing? Cascade type. So cascade type dot all. Next, what is the annotation? Next annotation, join column. But this join column is containing some attributes here, right? Okay. Let's write here. What's the annotation? Join column. Can you tell me what's the join column name? Okay, what's the join column name here? Passport ID. Passport number or passport ID. I'm changing the columns names. Unique equals to what? True. Or the next one? Nullable is equal to what? False. So observe here. You can see here, passport ID is a foreign key, or you can take passport number or ID, whatever you want, you just take it. I want to take passport ID. Unique equal to true, nullable equal to false. Why I'm writing unique? This is a unique key, nothing but this foreign key should not allow duplicates. And nullable false means what? This foreign key, okay, it should not allow null values. And we define all the setters and getters here. Okay, we'll generate all the setters and getters here. Got it, right? This is which class completed? Person. What's the next one? Passport. Passport is an entity class. Table name, TBL underscore passport. And we don't require anything much here, okay? I want to just complete entity classes. Rest of the things you need to develop. I just leave this example to you. I won't create this example. You have to do it. Private, integer. What is it? Passport ID. Instead of taking passport number, I'm taking passport ID. Private. What is the next one? Local date. Expiry date. I'm taking only 2. Then define setter and getters. Define what and what, setters and getters. That's all. So how many classes ready now? 2 classes ready. What and what? Person and passport. Remaining all setters and getters, 2 classes ready. So we are defining what kind of relationship? One-to-one relationship, right? Whenever you want to define one-to-one relationship, what we need in two-one relationship? Reference of target class. Reference of target class is required. Where? In source. Source class must contain a reference to target class. Who is a source class here? Person. Who is a target class here? Passport. For example, I am asking you, I have 2 tables, customer table and a locker table. What are the tables now? Customer table and a locker table. I want to apply, or I want to map. What kind of relation I want to map? One-to-one. One customer. What? One customer has a locker. Customer has a locker. Tell me who is a source? Customer. Who is a target? Locker. Tell me how do you apply one-to-one relation? I'm asking, how do you provide relationship here? Whose reference variable will create in what? Locker reference variable I have to create in customer class. In customer class, what I will create? Private, locker. Customer has a locker. It is called what kind of relationship? One-to-one. One customer has one locker. Got it right? Very good. So what I'm trying to say is, everyone, this is my person class. This is my person class. And this is my passport class. It's my passport class. I'm not writing any code. I'm not writing any code. DAO, IMPL, main class, test all the operations. What operations you test? Save person. Next. Find person. Next. Remove person. Test them. Whether all these operations are working or not working. Are you getting my point, right? You can do it because of the many example I'll post as a zip file into the portal today. And you have to create this example by yourself. Okay. So keep one-to-one as a heading and only note down these entity classes up to this. Remaining all setters and getters only. And a passport also like this only. And try to write your own example to perform the DO operations. Okay. Note it down first. Keep the heading as what? One-to-one. Keep the heading as one-to-one. Keep a heading as one-to-one. Okay. It is just small code only. Take these lines. Take these lines. Okay. Take these lines. Next. Okay. Take these lines. This is your person table. Person class mapped with a person table. This is a passport class mapped with a passport table. You write a DAO class, DAO interface, DAO IMPL class, and perform the operations. Right. You do it. Okay. And next in the tomorrow session, we have the session tomorrow as, okay, after 2-3 days, then I won't take the sessions again at morning 7. So in these 2 days, I'll complete. So tomorrow also with the session, we have the session tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow what we'll discuss is there is annotation called @generated value, primary key generation strategies. So that is, we are going to look at about that one tomorrow. And there is a level 2 caching is there. Level 2 cache. Level 1 cache, you know already, but level 2 cache is also there. So these are the 2 more concepts that we are going to discuss in our session. One is about primary key generation strategies, auto, identity, sequence, table. We have 4 strategies there. Apart from that, custom annotations also we can write. Custom annotation is a bit difficult. Okay, let's see whether If okay, I will explain, otherwise no. So that's secondary thing. But the custom ID generator class, I'll explain how do you create for your requirement. Tomorrow we focus on that part. Which part? Primary key generation strategies. Automatically how to generate the primary keys by using annotation called @generated value and @generic generator. So there are annotations available. We'll discuss about primary key concept tomorrow. And once this is done, then we have a concept called as level 2 cache. Earlier we discussed about level 1 cache, but we have not discussed about level 2 cache. So there is a level 2 cache also. We look at about what is level 2 cache and what is query cache. So we are going to discuss about such kind of things. Okay, right. So first note on this one, next move on to this one. So here these two annotations are important. What are they? 1 to 1 and next one is join column. Join column. In a join column also, these two attributes are playing important role. If you don't write unique equal to true and nullable equal to false, then what does it mean now? Foreign key allows duplicate values. So foreign key allows duplicate values, then the relationship becomes many to one. Otherwise, one to many. But our intention is what we want to define? 1 to 1. 1 to 1. Right. Okay. You just note this one as well. Remaining all setters and getters, no need to worry. Only take this part. Take the variables. Okay. Take the variables. That's it. That's it. Okay. So, okay. Now, okay. Before we start with the primary key generation, let us see how to write the join statements in JPQL. You know about JPQL, right? JPQL stands for blah, blah, blah. JPQL stands for excellent. Java persistence query language. We will discuss how to writing join statements in JPQL are different from writing join statements in SQL. In SQL, you know already join statements. But writing JPQL join statements are having bit difference. A small difference is there. Writing join statements in JPQL. Okay, right? These are all you are going to write when you are in Spring, when you are writing JPA repository @query annotation, when you are writing them, you are going to pass a query there. Okay, right? At that place, you are passing the query, right? Most part you have to concentrate on core Java. If you want to first get an interview to get succeeded, you have to focus fully on core Java. Logics, string programming, arrays programming. Arrays programming and strings programming. Okay, these two programmings, very, very important. Internal working of collections, stream API of Java 8. If you know this, you can crack interview. Once you crack an interview, you learn everything by yourself. We have a force like that. Okay, right? But maximum from the Spring side or from Spring Boot side, we don't ask much questions. We know that everybody can tell answer. We don't ask. In interviews like that only. We'll ask, what is the use of dependency injection? What is the use of dependency injection? How does field injection works? Bean factory and application context. The two Spring containers. How can you differentiate them? Okay. If sometimes, mostly we ask HTTP status codes. What does 200 mean? What does 201 mean? What is the HTTP request and response format? Request response format. Okay. We'll give a small code, implement CRUD operations with REST API. Get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping. Done. That is max to max. And how do you handle exceptions? For that, you have a REST controller advice annotations. Those things only. 4 or 5 questions max. But remaining all from core only. Okay, in 1 hour interview, 50 minutes will be on core Java. Remaining 10 minutes will be on remaining things all. Okay, but 50 minutes will be on core Java only. Logical questions, not the questions like what is polymorphism? What is polymorphism? What is class? What is what is? Okay. Okay. Tell me, where do you implemented it in your project? If you are an experienced candidate, show me where is oops in your project. There only will decide this guy is real guy or not a real guy. If he is not a real guy, but still will continue the interview if he is satisfied with the answer. Okay. If you are talking about your project like will decide. Unnecessarily no need to further continue this interview. He'll close. Okay, right? Within first 2 minutes only, I'll tell you. For example, if you are keeping if you want to keep some experience, 2-3 years experience, and you want to enter, you can crack the interview, no doubt. But when you can crack, if you are not speaking, little bit, at least little bit, with communication. If you're not speaking like that, communication plays important role here. Okay, communication plays important role. Right, okay, if you're not speaking, at least something on the questions what we are asking. You're speaking, but we are unable to understand because of lack of communication. Even though you have a lot of subject, doesn't matter. Okay, right? So within first 2-3 minutes only, one interviewer can identify whether you are a genuinely experienced or fake experienced. But why interview is carried out? Even though the candidate is identified, but still we would like to see whether this candidate is worthful or not. Okay, if you are having good subject, in 1 month you can learn all those things, the project setups, builds, and everything. In 1 month you can able to understand it. Okay, right? That's what we check. And it's okay then. Okay, I'll give a chance. Because every interviewer who is taking interview today has also joined in the organization once upon a time like that only. That sense will be there for everyone, almost. Maybe for some of them may not be there, right? Those people who are taking interviews nowadays, those people are also joined once upon a time by taking experience, like by putting some fake experience like 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years max. Right, okay? Right. Max you can put 2 to 3, 2 years to 3 years only. After 3 years, you cannot put, don't put any experience which is more than 3. Okay, then you cannot survive. Because what the people will feel? You are really experienced. Day 1, task 1. Damal. Right? They'll get a mail where performance is not good. So that's the reason why max try to keep 2 to 3 years in between, max that 2. After that, you cannot survive. 2.5 years is great. If you are putting more than 3, you will face a lot of problems because task will be directly given without giving any KT much. Right, okay? That's because you already 3+ years of experience, right? Company is paying a lot of money to you. Obviously, the people think like that only, right? So plan accordingly, prepare accordingly. Okay. Anyhow, we will continue tomorrow with the further join statements and primary key generation strategies, right? That's it for today. Thank you. You can ask your query. Shankar, write in chat box. Or I'll unmute you. You can able to ask your question. No problem. Yeah. If you have any question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me.
Sir, this how many classes are more left, sir?
Another 1, 2, 3.
I could not hear you.
3 classes. 3 to 4
Oh.
max.
Okay. Do we get notes also, sir, in this one?
No, notes is now. Already I have
Okay.
uploaded some documents. And whatever
Okay.
the other documents I'm writing here, those documents will be uploaded in the
Okay.
portal, right?
Oh, yes.
Previous documents is uploaded now.
Yes. Previous documents, I didn't check it.
Okay, okay.